Hey, 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 hey! What's up? It's your boy here, and today we're going to be discussing what is religion. Religion is when you put a cosmic entity, a god, behind a certain culture. It can be Akiku culture, Luo culture, Celtic culture, Judaic culture. It's just culture, and then you put in a god, a cosmic person that looks over everyone and establishes rule and control and things like that. Yeah. Well, culture is just a way of people, a people's way of doing things, a set of rules, policies, things that guide the people on how they're going to live their lives. Nature has its own way of doing things, and people require other people to survive. And for that, they need to come together. When they come together, they create something called a culture or a society. And community requires rules because people tend to infringe on other people's rights and freedoms, so that you may fully appreciate your freedom but not to a point where you will infringe on mine. So rules and guidance, policies that guide the people so that they may be able to coexist together without inflicting harm, creating war or or instability, insecurity, things like that. Despite of how many tribes we are, actually, of late I haven't even heard people talking about the tribal divisions that they are there. It's just only I call them the Moi regime. Only the Moi regime, people of the Moi regime, those are the only guys who are living in the cloud of this tribe, that tribe, that tribe. But our generation, we don't. So the constitution gives us a platform where we can be able to enjoy our culture. So now, to create a new culture. So now that culture, and then now we put in a cosmic deity behind it, and we say that it's because of this God, that's why we cannot do this. That's why we're not allowed to kill. That's why we're not allowed to do this and that. If we had a lot of critical thinkers in society, then the concept of God will not be so crucial. It will not be. Because if people understood how their actions bring up consequences that will eventually hurt them, if they understood that process, if they understood that, hey, if I steal, then I'm creating an unstable environment. And that unstable environment, if it doesn't affect me, it will affect my wife, or it will affect my kids, or it will affect my folks, And it might affect them much more than I affected someone else. Life has a funny way of creating balance. And you cannot start something and think that it's going to die with you. No. So if you work within the interest of protecting your neighbor like you are protecting yourself, then you'll be a little bit more careful about what you say, what you do, about your actions, about your thoughts, about your own trust, Because a society cannot work if we don't trust each other, if we do not trust the ultimate governing body, if we do not trust the deity that we created so that they may be able to keep us each other. If we didn't have any religion, we wouldn't have any society. Unfortunately, young people they cover the majority of the world population. Who are dumb people? Dumb people are people who they see that they know the truth, but they choose not to. They choose not to believe or not to uphold that truth. At the end of the day, people prefer, let me go with this popular handsome guy. It makes me feel good. Because if I go with a doctor who's speaking a lot of sense, nah, I don't feel it. It's too much. It's too technical. And that's the worst thing about it. So it's either you're forced to either be popular and win an election, or be unpopular and hold the truth. And that is why it is simple as saying we have a God out there who's watching. Because now that it's simple enough for them to understand, simple enough for them to comprehend. And so that is the only thing that will keep them from doing this nasty stuff. Yeah, they do happen, because we have now those people who are now beyond stupid. Albert Einstein, there are two things that are infinite: the universe and human stupidity. But he wasn't so sure about the universe. For me, I would advocate for religion to continue, yes. And does it mean that God doesn't exist? No, that's not what I'm saying. that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, people created these beings so that they may govern, so that they may be able to govern the people. And it is a bitter truth. It's a bitter truth, but at the end of the day, it's a truth. If I open a chat and say there's a new God in the streets, and he's like this is how he writes, this is how he do, this is how he be, this is how he do things. But I'm the only one who can speak to him, right? I've already created a new religion. And how many religions do we have out there? How many sects of Christianity do we have out there? How many divisions of already current religions do we have? And why do they even need to split up in the first place? Why? Because it's a business. It's a business at the end of the day. It's a business, or it's a power struggle. The more people you have behind you, the more you can rally, the more you can manipulate and influence, the more power you have. Power and money are one and the same thing. It's the same. They are sister. They walk hand in hand. So if I want some money, all I need to say is that I have a God and I know how to reach it. Number two, if I need to influence a society, if I need to influence a government, that's the same thing I'll do. And that's what people did back then. The elders, the Kikuyu elders, were practically the same people who were offering sacrifices. So they were both doing governance, and they were the same people who people went to for religious practices, or offering sacrifices, or atoning their sins by sacrifices again. They're the same guys, same people. So for us, and okay, it is a bittersweet kind of engagement where it worked out. It is a good tool to use if the person wielding it is a person of clear conscience. It's a person who's truly trying to make their society a better place. But some of these people, some of the people, I don't know, it's some or it's most, they use it because they just only want to harness more power to themselves. And they are the ones who end up creating some big impacts in society or in history. Yeah. Most of the people that we know, in some way, they were religiously attached to something. Genghis Khan was religiously attached to a certain faith, and he used those teachings to force his people into doing whatever they wanted to do. And it is because of that faith that they were able to move, and they were able to move. The Egyptians, faith, and they were able to do great things. And today people still try and figure out how these Egyptians leaders. So, is it a good thing? Yeah. But in the wrong hands, it's a very bad thing. It's a very, very bad thing. So is it so I cannot say whether it's like you saying a knife. A knife is a tool. You can use it and it will be helpful. But it's also a weapon. It can be used as a weapon. So at the end of the day, is the knife a bad thing? No. It is the person who will do it. That is the person that will determine what that instrument will be. Is it an instrument of good or is it an instrument of evil? God exists. God exists.